Hi everyone, Mr. Markwick here. In this video, we're going to be looking at quantiles to do with normal distribution, data that's normally distributed. In the previous videos, we've looked at normal distribution. We've been working out percentage or probability based on a certain data value or based on two data values and working out the percentage or probability of the data that lies in between those 2 points or above a point or below a point. In this case, we're going to be given a probability or a percentage. I'm going to be looking for the data value that correlates with that probability or percentage. Okay, in this case, we're looking at the 95th quantile. But let's first of all look at the question. So consider a population of crabs where the length of shell X millimeters is normally distributed with a mean 70 millimeters and a standard deviation 10 millimeters. So I've drawn that information down here on a bell curve with a, a mean here of 70 millimeters, and then each standard deviation, I'm increasing that by 10 above the mean, and each standard deviation, I'm decreasing that by 10 below the mean. A biologist wants to protect the population by allowing only the largest 5% of crabs to be harvested. He therefore asks the question, 95% of crabs have lengths less than what? So to answer this question, we need to find K in this equation here. And I guess the way of reading that is basically we're asking, if I convert this to a percentage, 95% of the data, 95% of the data is less than or equal to what data value, what length, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that using the graphics calculator. It's very similar to what we were doing the other day or in the other video, when we're using the graphics calculator to work out probabilities. So in your graphics calculator, again, you will be using that, we'll go back out, the statistics function here. So head into that, which I was just in. And we won't be using the list. Again, we're going to be pressing F5 on this screen here for dist. So make sure you've got graph in the bottom left-hand corner. If you don't, you can press F6 to get across to that. So it should look like this, F5. Here we're using the normal distribution, so F1. And we're using the inverse of normal distribution today. So press F3 for this process. Now, remember the symbols there refer to the mean and the standard deviation, which we know are 70 and 10 respectively. So go ahead and put those values in. So in this case, my mean is 70, my standard deviation is 10, which it is, so I can leave that there. Now what we're looking for is looking for an area of 95%, but I'm going to put that in as a decimal, so 0.95. And then I just need to work out whether the tail area here is the left or the right. So because we're looking at 95% of the data is less than or equal to a value, I'm going to be using a tail on the left. Now, I guess in fact, what I might show you is basically a little bit of a cheat here. When we're dealing with the quantiles, and you've got a less than or equal to sign, the tail will be on the left. If you're dealing with a greater than and equal to, then the tail will be on the right. Skip for that. Try again, will be on the right. Now, because I here have a less than or equal to sign, I'm going to be using a tail which is on the left, okay? So keep that as it is. If I need to change it to right, I can press F2, but like I said, I'm going to keep it as left. And then I just need to execute. You can scroll down to execute. Here you won't be able to draw the graph. So anyway, find out. And the answer is K is equal to 86.45. So K, it's taking a bit of time today. So K is equal to 86.45. 86.45, in this case, millimeters. So what that means, if I could draw that on my normal distribution curve, that at 86.45, which is, I estimate to be about here, 95% of the data is below or equal to that value, all right? So we'll only be harvesting, in this case, crabs that have a shell length greater than 86.45 millimeters. Okay, and that's the process essentially to work out quantiles. Like I said, if it's a less than or equal to, the tail will be on the left. If it's greater than or equal to sign, our tail will be on the right. We're just putting in the percentage as a decimal. Okay, so convert that to a decimal. It's the probability that they'll give us, and then once you've got your mean and your standard deviation, you can just execute and solve from there. So short video, hopefully that helps. That's how you work out quantiles using the graphics calculator.